excuse for remissness and servitude and cause for preferring solitude. My negligence and backwardness in diligent attendance at the royal court resemble the case of Kumbhakar, whose merits the sages of India were discussing, but could at last not reproach him with anything except slowness of speech because he delayed long, and his hearers were obliged to wait till he had delivered himself of what he had to say. When Kumbhakar heard of this, he said, "It is better for me to consider what to speak than to repent of what I had spoken." A trained orator, old-aged, first meditates and then speaks. Do not speak without consideration. Speak well, and if slow, what matters it? Deliberate, and then begin to talk. Say thyself enough before others say enough. By speech a man is better than a brute, but a beast is better unless thou speakest properly. How then could I venture to appear in the sight of the grandees of my Lord? May his victory be glorious, who are an assembly of pious men and the center of profound scholars, if I were to be led in the ardor of conversation to speak petulantly, I could produce only a trifling stock in trade in the noble presence, but glass beads are not worth a barleycorn in the bazaar of jewelers. A lamp does not shine in the presence of the sun, and a minaret looks low at the foot of Mount Albund. Who lifts up his neck with pretensions, foes hasten to him from every side. Sa'adi has fallen to be a hermit. No one came to attack the fallen man. First deliberation, then speech. The foundation was laid first, then the wall. I know a bouquet of binding, but not in the garden. I sell a sweetheart, but not in Canaan. Bokman, the philosopher, being asked from whom he had learnt wisdom, replied, "From the blind, who do not take a step before trying the place. First, move about, then stir out. Try thy virility first, then marry. Though a cock may be brave in war, he strikes his claws in vain on a brazen falcon. A cat is a lion in catching mice, but a mouse in combat with the tiger. But trusting in the liberal sentiments of the great, who shut their eyes to the faults of their inferiors and abstain from divulging the crimes of humble men, we have in this book recorded, by way of abridgment, some rare events, stories, poetry, and accounts about ancient kings, spending a portion of our precious life in the task. This was the reason for composing the book. Gulistan, and help is from Allah. This well-arranged composition will remain for years when every atom of our dust is dispersed. The intention of this design was that it should survive, because I perceive no stability in my existence unless one day a pious man will compassionately utter a prayer for the works of dervishes. The author, having deliberated upon the arrangement of the book and the adornment of the chapters, deemed it suitable to curtail the diction of this beautiful garden and luxuriant grove, and to make it resemble paradise, which also has 8 entrances. The abridgment: 1, the manner of kings; 2, on the morals of dervishes; 3, on the excellence of content; 4, on the advantages of silence; 5, on love and youth; 6, on weakness and old age; 7, on the effects of education; 8, on rules for conduct in life. At a period when our time was pleasant, the hetret was 156. Our intention was advice, and we gave it. We recommended thee to God and departed.